Boda Boda mess by ordering fresh registration of all Boda Boda operators in the country. The move aimed at restoring sanity in the sector after riders sexually assaulted a woman here in Nairobi, which will see rogue and illegal Boda Boda operators weeded out. This as women took to the streets to protest against women harassment by Boda Boda operators. Take a look.
For the next few months, all eyes will be on the transport sector as major reforms take shape, part of efforts to address what looks like the growing menace of lawlessness. The push for reforms comes a day after a video went viral showing a young woman harassed and sexually assaulted. Civility, considerateness, and above all, safety.
I did give instructions and I have ordered a crackdown on all Boda Boda operators starting here in Nairobi and moving across the country.
In the same vein, Interior CS Fred Matiang'i rubber-stamping President Uhuru Kenyatta, stating that it was time to take bull by the horn.
We cannot live in a society where people conduct themselves the way we saw in that video. We are equally outraged, disgusted, and this has called us and jolted us into action. We want to make sure that we get everyone who was involved in that particular incident and bring them to justice. And the particular gentleman who actually stripped that woman, we now have him in our custody. And we will make sure they face the full force of the law, as it were.
The outspoken CS and the president, Mr. Fix-It, insisting some serious thinking is required at the highest level to take some meaningful decisions and to adopt a no-nonsense approach in implementing them.
That time has come. Nothing short of a very ruthless and radical reorganization of that Boda Boda sector is going to solve us. So that time has now come. I want to ask our colleagues in the Boda Boda sector to understand one thing. We want them to carry on with business because they are doing business, but they must work with us to rid the criminals or out of that sector.
Earlier on, hundreds of women took to the streets of Nairobi in protest at violence against women. It was part of the demonstration against gender-based violence. Campaigners denouncing what they consider to be hostility towards women.
We do regret the incident that is so fresh in our minds that happened to one of the ladies of this country, and as a law enforcement agency we continue to do our part in ensuring that law is followed in this country, enforcing the law, but also call upon all other stakeholders to join us as we continue to see that we provide safety to the people of Kenya, and we see that all people who perpetrate the law, and especially any violence that is against women, more so sexual and gender-based violence, is meted with.
Although the harassment by Boda Boda riders caused social media frenzy, a section of Boda Boda riders have distanced themselves from the said harassment, stating those who took part were not part of them.
Kama serikali inatuharas because of our fellow sister, who we are very sorry.
For the hundreds of women who showed up today, this is one of the ways of ensuring gender-based violence is addressed from the root cause. Anna Masharia, look captive in Nairobi.